John chapter 1, verses 43 to 51, Jesus calls Philip and Nathanael. The next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. Finding Philip, he said to him, "Follow me." Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethsaida. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets also wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." "Nazareth? Can anything good come from there?" Nathanael said. "Come and see," said Philip. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said of him, "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." "How do you know me?" Nathanael asked. Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were still under the fig tree, before Philip called you." Then Nathanael declared, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Jesus said, "You believe because I told you I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than these." Then he added, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." Thanks be to God.
Thank you, John. You know, it's very easy for us to forget the kind of world that Jesus lived in. We kind of think of it kind of very much like ours, but a little bit older. But it wasn't like that. For instance, if people wanted to share some news in Jesus' time, they could only do it by talking to people. They didn't have internet. They didn't have social media, so they didn't have emails, they didn't have texts and tweets and all the rest of it. They had no electronic communication because they didn't even have electricity. They didn't have television. They didn't have radio. You thought your parents were dinosaurs. No. They didn't even have newspapers. Never mind books. People could not communicate by any written form because people didn't read and write unless you were wealthy or privileged or in a position of education. And there weren't many of those. We know there weren't many of those because those who were able to read and write were amongst people called the scribes. And they were the elite in Jewish society. So the only way you could get word around would be by talking about it. When that realization came to me again as I was preparing for this sermon, it struck me how Jesus went from 0 to hero in 3 years without any communication. Jesus went from being completely unknown to being written about by the greatest historians in the world at the time in just 3 years, and he never wrote a single word or broadcast a single sentence. It was because people listened to him and saw him and talked to others about him. And this story that John just read to us is an extract from the beginning of Jesus' ministry. And it started with John the Baptist pointing out to one of the people who came to him, Andrew, and his friends, and saying, "There's Jesus." And they went to Jesus and said, "Okay, who are you? Where are you staying?" And Jesus says, "Come and see." And the theme for the rest of that gospel passage that we have is come and see. Not go and look it up on the internet, not go and check it out with your parents, not go and read or hear about it from anywhere else. You want to know, come and see. Andrew then went and found his older brother Peter, and he said to him, "Come and see." And he brought him to Jesus. And then we come to those words that John read for us, and Jesus sees Philip and says, "Come and follow me. Come and see." And Philip finds his friend Nathanael, and he says, I found the Messiah, Jesus bar Joseph from Nazareth. And Nathanael resists the idea, saying there's nothing in the scriptures to indicate that Nazareth would produce any significant people for Israel. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? He says with total scepticism. And Philip says, come and see. Come and see. Come and check this out for yourself. He doesn't argue, he simply invites. Come and see. You're searching for the one that you expect to be the Messiah. You're searching for the King of Israel. You're searching for something in life. Come and see. Because up to that point, Nathanael still hadn't found what he was looking for. When Nathanael approaches Jesus, Jesus looks at him and says, here comes an honest Jew. And Nathanael says, how come you know me? He says, I can see you sitting under your fig tree, contemplating the future. Now, there's many commentators who understand this as Jesus having a supernatural knowledge of the life of Nathanael. They even suggest that Jesus knew what Nathanael was reading, because he referred to the angels going up and down on the ladder, and that story is told in Genesis chapter 32. I think there's one flaw with that argument. Nathanael probably didn't have a book. Yeah? He could well have been under a fig tree, and Jesus could have seen him a long way off and worked out when he was coming towards him that was that person. But I want to suggest something different to you this morning. I want to suggest an alternative interpretation, because from what I know of Jesus, he wasn't the man who kind of went round doing tricks. Name a card and I'll tell you what it is. You know, he wasn't kind of picking out things that would impress people with how clever he was. The Jesus that I know and read of in the Gospels is the one who met people where they were, one who had an extraordinary insight into the things of people's hearts and minds, one who knew and understood people, yes, often just seeing them. And he was able to see in Nathanael, now here is a good Israelite, someone who wants the best. When he says he saw Nathanael sitting under a fig tree, does that have to be literal? I want to suggest no. You see, the fig tree under which one sat was a Jewish picture of peace. 1 Kings chapter 4, Micah chapter 4, it pictures this kind of ideal of a man sitting under his fig tree thinking all is well with the world. You know, we might think, oh yeah, how's your dad? Oh, he's okay, he's got his pipe and slippers. What do you read into that? He's happy, he's content, he's got his life. And that kind of image was associated with sitting under a fig tree. In the heavens, each man will sit under his own tree. He will be content with life. But I suggest something a little bit more. Because the fig tree provided shade, and so it would be customary for the thinking man to contemplate underneath his fig tree. I've got an image here which might help you to picture it. It's you might think, oh well, when I want a bit of peace and quiet, I go out for a walk, or I go up in the hills, or I find a place of solitude where I can be by myself and I can think things through. Perhaps Jesus saw this Nathanael coming towards him and said, here's an honest, seeking Jew who still hasn't found what he's looking for. He's been contemplating in his life a search for something deeper, something more, something that will bring fulfillment, and he's not quite there yet. Perhaps he sees a Nathanael who was longing for answers, for peace, for purpose, for meaning, for salvation, but he didn't know where to find it. He still hadn't found what he was looking for. But when he responded to the invitation to come and see Jesus, his quest was over. He came, he saw, he found. He recognized in Jesus the answer to all his questions. And you know, today people are looking for all kinds of things in life, in church, in faith. People are looking for security, for purpose, for honesty, for integrity. People are looking to be understood, to be valued, to be cared for, and a whole host of other things besides, both physically, materially, and spiritually, and mentally. And the invitation is to come and see. See if what you're looking for can be found in Jesus. And of course, there are barriers of many kinds, both real and perceived. Barriers that prevent people from seeing the life in all its fullness. People who find barriers to connecting with God and with Jesus through faith. And Christians and the church have not always been a good advert for the Christian faith. But Jesus is. His life, his teaching, his attitude, his example, and ultimately his death and his resurrection show his love and his commitment to people. And his invitation is to come and see. And the church is at its best when it focuses not on itself, but on offering that invitation to come and see. There's a welcome message in Coventry Cathedral, well, outside Coventry Cathedral. You won't be able to read that, but it's a message that's been copied and circulated by churches all over the world. This is the Coventry Cathedral welcome. Let me read it to you. We extend a special welcome to those who are single, married, divorced, widowed, gay, confused, filthy rich, comfortable, or dirt poor. We extend a special welcome to wailing babies and exciting toddlers. We welcome you, whether you can sing like Pavarotti or just growl quietly to yourself. You're welcome here if you're just browsing, just woken up, or just got out of prison. We don't care if you're more Christian than the Archbishop of Canterbury or haven't been to church since Christmas 10 years ago. We extend a special welcome to those who are over 60 but not grown up yet, and to teenagers who are growing up too fast. We welcome keep fit mums, football dads, starving artists, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegetarians, junk food eaters. We welcome those who are in recovery or those who are still addicted. We welcome you if you're having problems or down in the dumps or don't like organised religion. We're not that keen on it either. We offer a welcome to those who think the earth is flat, work too hard, don't work, can't spell, or are here because Granny is visiting and wanted to come to the cathedral. We welcome those who are inked, pierced, both or neither. We offer a special welcome to those who could use a prayer right now, had religion shoved down their throat as kids, or got lost in the city centre and wound up here by mistake. We welcome pilgrims, tourists, seekers, doubters, and you. It's what we aspire to, isn't it? That's the kind of church we want to be. We don't always get it right, but we want to get there. We want to aspire there. But that's the welcome that Jesus gives. That is the welcome that he offers when he says, come and see. Let's not underestimate the power of Jesus to meet a person's deepest need and change their life. Amy's going to share her story later on of how that is true for her. Because Jesus comes to us with arms outstretched in unconditional welcome. And he says, come and see, just as you are. Come and see. That's the church we want to be. The one that proclaims Jesus and his invitation to come and see.